It's the kid. 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 It's just going to be a bloodbath. That's what we're trying to do here. Everybody is assuming that FC Porto are going to get either circumcised or lubricated. And I've had a baptism around the streets. So FC Porto are the biggest underdogs coming into here right now. You're going to up against one of the best teams in the Premier League, one of the toughest defenses out there. And you're going up against an Egyptian icon. And Africa's finest. Man, easy. So look, man, let's just really... I'll try and make an argument, but, you know, this is perhaps the most foregone conclusion infused fixture. Let's just break things down so we can try and find out ways in which things can happen. So let's just see the injuries and suspensions. So Joe Gomez has come back into training. He's back into the squad, and he is a possibility to come into this game. Does Klopp use him or not? I don't know. Matip, I felt, had a strong game last game. And I think, you know, it's something to think about. I mean, do you bring Joe Gomez into a game like this? I say yes. If he is fit. See, I'm not sure I'm not sure that you bring Joe Gomez into like the Chelsea game. I'm not sure. But I think this game is perhaps going to be easier. It's not hard, but perhaps easier than the Chelsea game at Anfield. So I think in this game in which you think just that Liverpool are by far the superior team in this game, maybe this is a nice one for Joe Gomez to come into. So Joe Gomez, if you start him in this game, maybe you can prep him up, match fitness, and say, you know what, I think he's ready for that game on Sunday against Chelsea. And Robertson suspended for one match, I believe, so he picked up, I think, the yellow card in the second leg against Bayern, so he will not be playing in this game. And that suspension does now make things tricky because, again, coming into this whole thing, the decision that Klopp has to make is, do I roll with a Brexit midfield, or do I get in a Shaqiri or a Naby Keita in there? So I start saying, in this game, you don't need really a Brexit midfield because this is Liverpool at home. Brexit midfield, as I've said, is perfectly suitable for playing away from home. But at home, nah. Stay in Europe. But with Robertson's suspension, that means Milner will not have to go into the defense. So there's going to be a little bit of reshuffling having to happen. So, I mean, again, Liverpool fans, is this a case of where Milner now goes to left back? You know, can he play the left back position? So, I mean, again, that's also what Klopp really has to think about. Because again, it's either Milner or it's Moreno. And I think that Moreno has been making a lot of high-profile mistakes. And I think if it's me, between Milner and Moreno, I'll probably roll with Milner because even if Moreno is more naturally adept in that position, that is his natural position, Homeboy has made far too many mistakes and maybe it's too much of a risk to take putting him out there in what is a very important game. It's a game Liverpool should win, but it's still a Champions League quarterfinal against flipping FC Porto. So for Liverpool, they have to attack. And a decision, if we're not saying Milner has not going to defense based on Robertson, is do you roll with Keita or do you roll with Shaqiri? I want to see Shaqiri play in this game. I want to see Shaqiri play. Because as I've said, I still believe in Naby Keita. I still believe that this guy has a lot of creativity within him, but he just needs to give the due time. I will always back talented players, and I will always back technically gifted players. I always will. So call me like a lover hater. I couldn't give a damn. Okay, I know a good player when I see one because I'm the best football analyst out there. So me being the best football analyst, I can tell you a quality player from a crap brick. I would put Shaqiri in this game. I would start Shaqiri in this game because I think the key thing of all Liverpool wants is connective tissue. We need that midfield dude who connects well with the front three. And speaking about the front three, I think this is the perfect game in which connect. Better connection, better chemistry, better wavelength. What I have not liked from this front three in the last few games is that cohesiveness, that deadly cohesiveness we saw from them last season. So what's happening? Firmino coming deep, grab the ball, make the right runs. make the connectivity tissue, be aware of the runs that Mane is making and Salah is making, because I think maybe what is missing is there is a lack of understanding, there's a lack of awareness, where by now you should know the runs that Mane makes, you should know that the runs that Salah makes, you should know the kinds of patterns that they go into, because once you know the patterns and the pockets they go into, that's where one touch can play. So as soon as you receive the ball, one touch, I already know where he's going to go. Because remember, if you control the ball and you're not thinking about what you want to do, it makes it very easy for the opposing defense to get that ass. But what makes it very hard for the opposing defense is before the ball comes to you, as soon as the ball reaches you, you've already made the pass. But you've already made the pass by one touch because you already know the run that's already going to be made by either a Salah or a Mane. So the front three, what I want from these guys is connect, find those spaces, know when to release the ball, know when to hold the ball up, and use each other. Your brothers, your teammates. We don't need to be individualistic. You don't need to be selfish. You don't need to go in there. But I think Firmino is a very important cog and aspect to making his front three work, because he isn't a traditional striker. He's a forward, but Firmino sort of has the role that's what you see from a Benzema or a Giroud. He's a link man. You know, he's really almost like the creative brains of the guy that's trying to really tug at the strings and being the Geppetto, the puppeteer of what Mane and Salah's doing. So that's why I really want the front three to really open that ass up against FC Porto. So speaking, and I think, and see, for Matip and Van Dijk, it's about concentration. Key thing, because this is a very difficult game if you're a central defender, because you're going to have possession, you're going to control the game, and FC Porto are not going to have those many attacks. So that is the perfect recipe of a lack of concentration, a lapse in concentration. So the key thing for Van Dijk and Matip is always be aware, because Liverpool have to aim for these guys must not score. We have to aim for a clean sheet, because we're going to win the game, but we have to win the game with a clean sheet. So once we win the game with a clean sheet, we can go to Portugal and just end it and be like, you know what, what's up? Let's ride. Let's go to FC Porto. 2004, it was Mourinho, Uncle Mo. Who said that? Chill, Pep. Who said that? Injuries. So Vincent Abubakar, he had this injury like near the beginning of the season. And what it said on my notes that I did the research on is that he's going to be back early April. But from what I've seen is that it says early April, but he's still not back. So I think maybe he may be back for the second leg, potentially, probably. So he is out for this game. Tejes back in training, but I don't think he's fit enough to start. And the key loss is the veteran, the vet Pepe. He's suspended for one match. So that's a huge miss. But then again, that means Militao has to hold things down. So the big man, the focal points, and the guy who came in clutch for them, they missed him in the first leg, but came clutch for them in the second leg against Roma, is Marega. Marega is one of those guys where he just gets in and out. He gets in and amongst the fight, and he's always ready for the fight, always ready to be involved. And for Porto, they will really need Marega to just make those key runs, because what Porto know that they're not going to win the game. I was very likely to draw the game. Porto's tactic is, let's try and get that away goal. We'll try and hold Liverpool for as much as we can, but let's try and get the away goal. And their best chance of getting the away goal is through Marega. That's their goal, man. So I think the aim for Porto is give him good supply. Try and give him a perfect ball. Just keep trying. Just keep putting those crosses in, putting those passes in. Try and be brave. Get someone brave to run with the ball. Go forward with the ball and try and find space. Continue trying to find spaces. It's going to be a very, very difficult game for Marega, because you're going up against one of the best defenders in the world in Van Dijk, and a very tough defender in Matip. But even more so, you're just going up against a team that's very defensively sound, because I'm expecting Henderson to be in this game, so he's going to even add to the difficulty of Marega's night. So it's going to be tough for Marega, and I think the best advice I would say for him is don't lose hope. Just keep making those runs, keep fighting, keep hustling, keep holding the ball up, and just try and find that stem, because maybe there will be a sniff. And if he gets a sniff, he's going to put it away. If it gets a sniff, it's going to put it away. But it's going to be a very difficult one for him. And I think for Militao, the midfield enforcer, the guy, you're going to have a very important game, because for Danilo, away from home, tough game, it's about when you have the ball, use the ball very well and try and keep your team in the game. Try and keep your team in the game and try and create a situation where you can get a breakaway. Because trust me, Liverpool are going to have a highland and they're coming to force the issue, to push it back. So for Danilo, when he receives the ball, is can you beat him, man? Create space, move forward with the ball, unleash the ball. Can you engineer breakaways to get the team on the counter so it can then get to Marega to do something? It's going to be hard for Porto here. It's going to be hard for them, and I expect Liverpool to really turn it up, especially at Anfield. I just think that Liverpool are just the more superior team. So with that being said, taking all these things into account, man, like Porto aren't winning this game. Like, I mean, newsflash. So it's a scoreline that I've had in my head, and I will not change the scoreline. 3-1. I think Liverpool get 3 Gs, but I do believe now Porto do get a goal. Whether it may be through a penalty, a mess-up, a mistake, I think Porto will just about get an away goal, but I think that's the best for that. I don't think Porto can score more than 1 goal at Anfield, but I think that Liverpool will do enough of the job to get it to 3-1. And I think 3-1 for me will be enough for Liverpool to go through. But we'll deal with the second leg when we get there. But for this one specifically, 3-1, I want to see Shaqiri start. I want to see how well that front three does. And Porto, look, man, I don't give you guys a chance of doing anything in this game. Surprise me. Do something. But whatever the case may be, guys, come back here, please. This is the home of football analysis, and we shall review this game in a post-match analysis form. Peace out, stay true, and be real. Peace. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hut patron by pledging an amount each month, and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hut patron page. Peace. Head over to the official site at halffootballhut.com or just click over here.